Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Lukenessmonster. Today, we're going to be reviewing the BlackSeries Clone Lieutenant Galle. This figure is number 3 in the Revenge of the Sith line, as you can see, and it's one of my most highly anticipated figures of all time. Flipping around to the side here, we have this amazing artwork of Lieutenant Galle with, of course, like the Felucian environment in the background, so that's very cool. Flipping around to the back, we do have the bio, which you can pause and read if you would like. Other than that, there's not a whole lot going on with the box, so let's go ahead, crack this guy open, and see what he has to offer. And we're actually going to be giving away all of these BlackSeries figures you see here, so make sure to stay tuned to the end of the video to figure out how you can enter. Alrighty, so we got this figure out of the box, and I gotta say, this guy is looking so good. One of the best BlackSeries clones ever made, and today we're going to put that to the test, so really happy with how this guy turned out. I think the articulation is great. The brand new helmet sculpt, which we're going to take a closer look at, is just phenomenal. And overall, it's looking great. And so it's got a really good chance of being the best BlackSeries clone trooper ever made. So let's go ahead, take him off the spinny stand, and take a close look at everything this figure has to offer. So yeah, this figure is on the 3.0 clone body, meaning he does have a lot of the updated articulation past the 2020 sculpt. And so looking at that, that does mean he has the loose O-rings for the shoulder pads. On the previous clone, they were actually just like glued to the bicep here, and so whenever you try to put him up into a T-pose, it would like scrunch up the shoulder pad. That was never good. So the O-rings for the shoulder pads are huge. The addition of this also allowed them to add bicep swivels, which is huge. The 3.0 clone body also has a loose chest piece overlay, which is more accurate and has just better proportions. And then the 3.0 clone body also stopped gluing the knee pad to the top of the knee here, and so it can actually go to the bottom, which is a lot more accurate to what a knee pad would actually do. You can kind of just make it float in the middle, which is the best scenario here, but yeah, not gluing the knees is just a huge upgrade. And so we are going to be looking at some of the new molds for this guy. At first, I thought this belt and kind of holster piece were new. It obviously does kind of have this like clip with these straps that go down to the holsters. But after a close comparison, it does look like it's the exact same belt holster piece that we already got on Commander Bly. So it does not seem to be a new sculpt there. After some reviewing of the footage, the belt is clearly new on the Lieutenant Galle figure, and it's not reused from Commander Bly. I'm not sure how I didn't catch this in the review, but it is definitely a new sculpt. And I thought that was going to be the same case for the shoulder pauldrons here, because the pauldrons are very similar. Especially as sculpt go, they almost look identical in sculpt. But as you can see, Commander Bly's pauldron here actually has a little notch, and he's got these dips in his shoulders. Those little notches, like, pretty much peg into his little shoulder notches. It's kind of hard to see. But on the new Lieutenant Galle figure, those shoulder notches, as well as the little dips in the pauldron, don't exist. This just kind of sits loosely on there, so yeah, this is a new mold, or at least it's a modified mold from this previous one. But of course, the big thing that's new on this guy is the helmet. His helmet is significantly better than some of the previous clone troopers that we've gotten in the line. A lot of those complaints have just been with the shape of the visor as well as the overall shape of the helmet. They've just looked really wacky and not great. This one is a lot more accurate to Revenge of the Sith, and honestly, it's one of the best Revenge of the Sith helmets I've ever seen. On the right, we do have the Kenobi 501st Trooper, and you can just see the blatant differences in the helmets here. For starters, the top of the dome here, like before the black brow, is a little bit elongated on this one. It's kind of squished on this guy. And overall, I feel like the Revenge of the Sith style helmet has a more elongated look overall. Like this one kind of just feels like it's being pressed in and squished. This one feels like they kind of just stretched it back out. And you can definitely see that with the shape of the visors. The shape of this guy's visor, it's got this really nice kind of wide look and rounded off look towards the edge of the eyes. This one, it's squished and it's pointy and it just doesn't quite look right. Even around the shape of like kind of the chin mouth pieces there, it's so much better on the Revenge of the Sith version. Like, I cannot stress enough how good this brand new helmet sculpt looks. Now, we've already seen the articulation of a clone body like this so many times in the line, but we are going to go over articulation again. Of course, the figure can get up into a T-pose. Now, going all the way around, he can get it on this arm. This arm, though, however, can go all the way around, but it's going to start getting in the way of the pauldron here. The head does have a ball joint at the top of the neck and the bottom of the neck, so he's going to have a ton of range of motion here. Biggest problem is when you try to look left or right, the kind of tops of these pauldrons are going to start getting in the way. He does have a bicep swivel. He can get to 90 degrees at the elbows. And since this guy does have dual pistols, he has 2 vertical hinges on both hands, and he has trigger fingers on both hands. So that's actually something they left out of the brand new Phase 1 Rex, but this guy, since he is a dual-wielding clone trooper, he does have 2 trigger fingers, which is huge, and it's something that we've been asking for so long with BlackSeries characters that have multiple pistols. He does have a ball joint at the torso. His leg can kick up about that far, and he can get into that much of a splits. The knee can get past 90 degrees, and then of course he does have the standard pivots and rockers. First up for comparisons, we have Commander Bly on the right. Commander Bly is obviously the clone commander for the 327th Star Corps, and so you gotta compare the two here. They are very similar clones altogether, but of course Bly has a lot more yellow paint on him with a more intricate design. And then of course we do have Jedi General Aayla Secura on the left. Aayla is of course the Jedi General for the 327th Star Corps, so all 3 of these guys are looking amazing together. And yeah, it's just kind of the clone and Jedi trio that you want to have on the shelf, so I'm really glad. I know this is like Lieutenant Galle, but in reality he is just a 327th Star Corps trooper, and it's really nice that we're getting Jedi Generals, their clone commanders, and their grunts in the line. So I believe the 337th Star Corps is one of the first ones to actually have that, besides of course like the 501st and the 212th, so that is really cool to see. Of course, Commander Bly on the right has a lot more weathering. That's just something that a lot of the older clones used to come with, and they just don't do a lot of weathering like that anymore, which is a shame. I'd love to see them weather up this clone, but regardless, all 3 of them do look great here together. Next up for comparisons, we have some more modern Revenge of the Sith figures with the Kenobi 501st on the left, and of course the brand new Commander Cody on the right. All 3 of these guys are looking great together. One stark difference between these 3, the 332nd is molded in a more yellowish plastic compared to the pretty vibrant white of both Commander Cody and the 501st, and you can definitely tell whenever you have these clones posed together. It is night and day difference, just like the 187th Battalion Trooper we had a few years back. I don't necessarily like whenever they do molds in different colors like this, because when you compare them on the shelf, you can tell that they look different. Now, I think I like the idea that they had going. Typically, they kind of mold these figures that are supposed to be more weathered in this off-white, more yellowish plastic, and it adds definitely a hint of this kind of weathered look to the figure and kind of tricking your brain into thinking it's weathered. But honestly, overall, I think I like this more off-white color compared to the actual clone style. I like it better than the more harsher white. It just contrasts with this clone's colors better. But again, when you're comparing it on the shelf next to some other clones, it just doesn't quite sit right. So overall, I really like this figure. I think he's great. The updated articulation is amazing. That 3.0 clone body is spot on. I think the weathering is pretty solid. I like the paint apps. And of course, that brand new Revenge of the Sith helmet is just a night and day game changer. So overall, I like this figure, and it might be in the running for best clone trooper ever. If you guys have any other ideas what might be the best, let me know down in the comments. But right now, I'm probably going to put him at number 1. We'll have to wait and see. I do have a worst to first clone troopers video coming out here in a few weeks, so stay tuned for that to see my final placement of this guy. But yeah, he's definitely in the running for best clone trooper of all time. And we're actually going to be giving away this clone Lieutenant Galle figure. He is, of course, opened because I just opened him to review him, but I'm going to throw him right back into the box. And you guys will have a chance to win. All you guys have to do is 1, make sure you're subbed to the channel, and 2, leave a comment down below on this video. Comment whether or not you like this figure or if you plan on picking it up. I'll give you all 2 weeks to enter, and then I'll pick a random comment using a random comment generator, and I'll announce the winner in my YouTube community tab. So stay tuned for that, but remember, you guys do have to be subscribed to the channel to enter. And we're actually going to be giving away this New York Comic Con exclusive 2-pack, which has not been released yet, too. This one will be a giveaway for our channel members. If you guys do want a chance to win this one, make sure to go down and hit that join button down below. At the end of the month, we'll hold a live stream for channel members. Anybody who joins the Lukeness Lieutenant tier before the end of the month will automatically be entered to win this 2-pack. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below what you guys think of this figure, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.